Welcome to the Frictionless Innkeeper podcast. Coming right up, fresh tips and insights from lodging professionals aimed at helping you improve your business. Our podcast is brought to you by the Frictionless Guest App, the digital concierge that helps your guests to live like locals. Learn how at frictionlessguest.com. Steve Short, happy 2026 to you, my friend.
Hey, Matt, same to you. Happy New Year. And I'm hoping that 2026 will be good for you and everyone else. And I hope 2025 was good as well.
Thanks,
So,
man. Appreciate it.
yep.
I'm sending you the same good wishes too. And the theme of 2026 is very appropriate because for this podcast interview, once again, I always say once again because it seems like it was yesterday, but it was a year ago when we last did a podcast with her. But this one's with Sarah Gazi, CEO of ALP, and she's talking about ALP Unlocked 2026, which is the new branding, the new name for the ALP conference coming up in March.
Yep. And in the rock and roll town of Cleveland. So looking forward to doing it. Sounds like they've got some upgrades, some updates into as far as the way they're doing things, they're going to do things. And yeah, so she'll talk through that. And it's an interesting discussion. Also talk a little bit about some other things they've got going on at ALP. And it's always fun to talk to Sarah. And we think, is this the fourth year?
I think it might be that we've been doing it with her. Yeah. So this is just a recurring thing and time moves very fast. And one thing that stood out to me that I thought was interesting is that it sounds like a lot of these programs, lightning talks, keynotes are all really kind of hands-on, tactical, how you actually do stuff, like how you use AI, how you use this, as opposed to high-level theoretical. And it sounds like that would be really appealing to a lot of innkeepers today.
Yeah, I agree. And in fact, we started using that tactical and practical term.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
remember?
exactly. It's tactical and practical.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what it sounded like to me is when she was talking about some of the things that they're doing and some of these sessions. So, as usual, I will be there. Looking forward to it. And yeah, so hopefully everybody can listen in and get a feel for what it's going to be like this year. And hopefully they'll say, yeah, let's do it if they're not already attending. So,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah. And with that, we hope you enjoy this Frictionless Innkeeper podcast interview with Sarah Gazi, the CEO of ALP, who once again will be talking about ALP Unlocked, which is taking place March 2nd through the 5th in the rock and roll town of Cleveland, Ohio. All right. And welcome, Sarah, and welcome, Steve. How you both doing?
Good. Thanks so much.
Great to have you. Steve Short, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Can't believe it's 2026.
I
And
know.
here we are. And here we are once again with our annual podcast with Sarah. We're going to be talking about all things about ALP Unlocked. But before we do that, Sarah, would just love to hear about how things are going or any new updates on the ALP side, just kind of overall.
Yeah. So things at the Association of Lodging Professionals are always busy, never dull, but always in a good way, of course. There's been so much going on with our members in terms of facing uncertainty with their businesses and booking paces and all sorts of unpredictable times out there. And we are doing our best to support them in whatever way they need. And whether that's through our continuing ALP Hospitality Huddle program, where members connect with each other, really try to help each other solve their problems, give each other ideas. We're working to address the problems at hand. We are not trying to put out programs and content for the sake of putting out programs and content. We're really listening to what our members are going through and what they're facing. And we understand it's not an easy thing right now for many of our members. So, we're just trying to be there for them and to really serve as the community for them in good times and in bad.
Just out of curiosity, what are some of the challenges? Is it really just overall demand? Are the dynamics there that, we're still fighting with Airbnb and those kinds of competitors, I guess, even though it's a different space, but it's obviously a big option for people, for lodging people, right? For people who want to stay somewhere. Yeah, just curious what the current dynamic is, or is it just the economy and everybody's feeling this?
There's no one size fits all answer to this question.
Okay.
It really depends on geography and property type. But, the things that I've been hearing lately are, some properties have been impacted by lack of people coming from Canada or other countries. Of course,
Right.
the economy plays a big role. People are starting to see numbers get back to where they were like pre COVID. So, that's kind of impacting their year over year metrics. Some people are, saying that they are up this year. So it's not everybody's down. A lot of people are flat, a lot of people are up. It's really a diverse thing, but it's politics, it's economy, it's travel, it's so many different factors. And the thing that ALP is really striving to do is to help people and properties evolve. With the changing times, you can't do what you've always done. And as the world changes, so do we need to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, one of the ways that they can learn how to adapt and change is to come to the ALP Unlocked 2026 conference, I believe.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Unlocked. So we rebranded the conference this year. And of course, the question is why? Why would you rebrand the conference after all these years? And it was something that we were really excited to do. It was a fun project to take on, but it's a more modern way of naming events. Over the years and years ago, everybody was, the XYZ conference or the XYZ trade show. And now a lot of organizations are going to, a more modern naming system, which is more of an action item or, more of a verb. Something that's defines what the event is or what you get out of the event. And we thought the word unlocked was really appropriate for this event because it's a nod to opening the doors to guests at your property. And it's also really in recognition of unlocking knowledge and success and innovation at the conference. So, and we've been having fun with it, opening doors and unlocking things. And so it's been fun in the marketing. But yeah, we plan to continue the name ALP Unlocked this year and beyond. And we will still incorporate the different themes. Like this year's rock and roll theme. But since it was, also the first Unlocked, we had to incorporate rock and roll and unlocking doors. So I can't believe it's coming up so soon. It's a little bit earlier this year. It's March 2nd through 5th in Cleveland. And we are full steam ahead with getting the event going and off the ground and executed. We have made some changes this year, and we continue to strive to do and be what our members and attendees want us to do and be. So this year, we're really focused on more dynamic sessions, more hands-on sessions, more tangible takeaways. We want people to really have an opportunity to not just sit and be lectured to. Because I've gone to a lot of conferences myself, and just sitting there being lectured to is not always a fun learning experience. But being able to really talk to your peers and connect with them and learn from them, as well as all of our industry experts that we have speaking during our sessions. Some of the things that were in terms of content this year. Last year, we had, I think, I want to say 2 sessions on AI, and we've completely taken that even further this year. Everybody wants to know about AI and technology, and we're delivering on that. And we'll also have revenue and pricing strategies and guest experience and staffing and sustainability and all sorts of good stuff that people can take back to their properties and implement. It's a challenging thing to do an event every year and to really keep it fresh. And that's something that we really strive to do. Nobody wants to go to an event that has the same speakers. So we've got new speakers. we're trying to always keep the content, the speakers, the vibe fresh and ever changing because that's fun, that's exciting, that's new, and it helps people to learn what they need to learn in order to be competitive in this market. So, we're really excited for the event and it's always so much fun. It's the one time a year where everybody gets to see each other. It's such a warm, inviting community. And it's so rewarding to see it all come together and everybody to just, learn and grow and then take it home and find additional success with the things that they learned from our conference. For me, that's why I do what I do. I love being able to help our members to be the best they can be in what they do every day.
Yeah, this will be, I guess, if there's probably maybe sixth or seventh year. I don't know. Yeah, I started back with AIHP. We started as a company and started going in 2019 in Cincinnati, which, evolved into ALP. But I've found that it is a great group of people, a lot of fun. It's something that it's going to be on my calendar until I'm dead or retired or whatever. uh, it's just something I'll do. And yeah, so now when you're talking about the approach, like when you're talking about lecturing, is it more a matter of more practical topics, or is it more a matter of the presentation style where they're going to try to get more interactive with each session and get people more involved with the discussion? Is that kind of, if you can clarify that, what your thoughts are?
Yeah, and it's both. Last year, we launched a few new session formats. So we have roundtables where we pose a question and attendees talk about it at their tables. So they're really doing some peer to peer learning, which is basically what we do with our ALP Hospitality Huddles program year round. We kind of turn that into a live session style with
Hmm.
our roundtables. And then also last year, we introduced lightning talks, which are really just short, like 15-minute presentations. So it's just get to the main 2, 3 points and then on to the next speaker. So it's more short bursts of instead of an hour long lecture style. So it is through our session formats, but yeah, it's also through the sessions themselves. We really this year are focusing on not just aerial view of topics and learning. We really want everything to be more, this is actually how you do it. It's not theoretical, it's practical, it's takeaway.
Right. Okay. You usually have some contingent of aspiring uh,
Yeah.
versus regular, but is there a separate track for them, or how is that working this year?
Yeah, so as we have in previous years, we do have a separate educational track just for our aspiring owners. And we are looking at a good number of aspiring owners already registered, which is great to see. We really pride ourselves as an organization in really fostering the relationship with them because they are the future of the industry. And our members are so generous with their knowledge and they love kind of passing it on, which is such a beautiful thing to witness all the time. So, yeah, we have our aspiring track and we are ready to help them become the next owners.
Hmm. Excellent. So there's kind of a different track for aspiring, but they're there at the same times as everybody else. Is that
Yeah.
how? Because it used to be they would come in a little earlier or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year was the first year we did away with that because it felt to me that they were kind of being separated from the people that they would really benefit from meeting. So we changed it so that their sessions are concurrent with the conference itself instead of having them sort of on the front end. It was received really well last year when we did it for the first time, and it just makes so much more sense. And honestly, like our members that are already lodging owners want to meet them
Hmm.
and vice versa. And so it was basically, an added learning experience for the conference just by changing that sort of logistic of days and times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's March 2nd through the 5th. That's Monday through Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the Monday, I've got to get on the stick here because I'll be attending. I got to get my schedule together here. But um, typically, you come in a little bit later in the afternoon, kind of get started on that first day. And so the big chunk is probably Tuesday and Wednesday, I guess. And then Thursday,
Yeah.
kind of wrap things up. Is that right?
Yeah. So people could travel on Monday. It doesn't officially kick off till the 6 o'clock or so in the evening with our
Okay.
welcome reception with the exhibitors. And it ends Thursday around noon. So people can fly Monday, fly home on Thursday.
And what's the venue? Where's it happening in
It,
Cleveland?
yeah, it is the Hilton Cleveland downtown.
Okay.
So
Is
we
it
have
is it
a
walkable?
room block is open until January 27th to secure our reduced rate. And that's it. I always tell people that it's so much better to stay at the host hotel because, as I'm sure you know, Steve, a lot of the best learning and networking doesn't happen even in the sessions or in the exhibit hall. A lot of times it happens at the
Right.
bar or at dinner or, just in a hallway. So if you're not staying at the host hotel, you kind of miss those opportunities.
I agree. Yeah, plus it's logistically easier to just go down the elevator. I learned the hard way by getting mixed up with for the Midwest conference, and I had my room reserved my room well ahead of time, but I couldn't find the reservation. I got no notification anyway. I thought, "Oh, I must not have reserved the room." And so I ended up staying a couple blocks away, and it was yeah, it just
Yeah,
wasn't
it's not the same.
not a good thing. So, yeah, definitely, I totally agree with that. So is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame how close is it? Is it walkable? Yeah.
I I'm not sure. And the reason I'm not sure is because I'm gonna be working the whole time. I look to see
I
when they
know,
open.
I know.
Because I was like, I
Yeah, I
wanna
know.
go. Like, I don't get to see all the sights all that often. And of course, every day that, like, I'm working while they close before I'll be able to get to make it there. But it's not that far. I'm not sure if it's drivable or take an Uber. But the one thing that I will say, I am bound and determined to get over to the Christmas Story house. 'Cause
Oh, yes.
that is in
Nice.
Cleveland.
Yep, yep.
And like all of us, I love that movie.
Yep.
And while I'm there, I wanna see the house.
Yeah. I am so lame because I told my wife I was gonna watch. I still have only seen bits and pieces of it, and she's like, "What?" You know, and I was like, I told her I was gonna do that this year, and I mean, and technically we still have the tree up, so I guess I can it's still Christmas, you know.
You still have time. You still
Yeah, I
have
still
time.
have time. Of
Yep.
course, I can watch it anytime, but she's been to the house, so
Yeah.
and she said it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
am pretty
and
bummed that I won't get to see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, while I'm there. I mean, I
I
could extend my stay, of course, but, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, yeah, I was there back in early 2000s, I guess, before 2010 anyway. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I would like to check it out again and try to do it. And the part of the cool thing with the conference is, for at least, especially for property owners, is that they'll come in and it's an opportunity to travel and get away from their property, learn things, but also combine that with having some fun and seeing some things. And so people will stay an extra day or two or whatever and build that into their whole trip.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wish I could do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when I attend conferences, that's exactly what I do. It's not always easy to get away. So when you do get away, it's nice to make the most of it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you'll probably be so wiped out by the time it's over with. You just want to be dragged home, right? I mean,
Yes.
in terms of just to kind of wrap up the conference discussion, cost and I guess members cheaper for members, that sort of thing. What are the numbers looking like this year?
Yeah, so it depends on a couple factors. Most members do get a discounted rate. We don't offer a discount rate for our digital only members, but for the other levels of membership, it is $899 for the first registration and then $849 for each additional. And for non-members, it's $1,049. And I actually just today opened single day attendee passes. So if somebody's more local and just want to come in for a day, they can pay $250 for a single day pass.
Why not 249? I'm just joking.
No, I guess that would make sense. But
With the other pricing.
that dollar really matters to me.
So if people are listening and they haven't pulled the trigger on attending yet, haven't signed up and registered, make your pitch, I guess I would say. If I'm a property owner and, and maybe I've been to ALP or one of the conferences at some point in time, maybe it's been a few years, or maybe I've never attended. What's the draw? Why do you think it's a good value?
Well, it's an investment in their business. Every day, lodging professionals greet guests and make the breakfast and focus on the guest experience. And by attending ALP Unlocked, this is really an opportunity to step away from the business and work on the business through connections, through meeting and speaking with all of our incredible exhibitors and speaking with your peers. This is an opportunity to come together, to learn, connect, leave with ideas that you can implement right away in your business. Time and time again, I talk to past attendees and ALP members that say, I did this in my business this year and I learned that at the ALP conference. And that's what it's all about. It's being able to take this opportunity to learn and then implement and see the results, see the growth, see the success. So that's why we always say it's an investment in yourself. And I understand it's not always easy to get away. It's not always to fit it in your budget, but it's really something worth doing if you are in the independent lodging world in order to stay ahead of the trends, to make the important connections. This is a very relationship-based industry, and you can't replace face-to-face interaction. As much as we love our webinars and our huddles and all the other programs that we have that are virtual, you can't replace face-to-face interaction. There's nothing like it.
Well, you're not going to get this much information packed into a couple days, even if there were online ways of doing that. It's just not, you're right.
Yeah.
It's just not the same, I don't think. And like you say, it's an investment. The way I see it is, and I have to remind myself of this with my own businesses, with Frictionless and my other business, it's service based. You got to learn to get away, to have time to think and learn. And it kind of comes down to working on the business instead of in the business, right? So
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you're just at your property and we tell our clients that they need to go out and interact with other businesses in the community and get partnerships, and that interaction is so hugely important, and to have those relationships locally, that's really important. And you can't be in your shell, basically. And I think it's the same thing with the industry. The only way you're going to get different perspectives, whether it's other innkeepers that become friends with, that you talk with, you get a perspective from, or the people, some of which are innkeepers, the professionals that are doing the educational stuff, whatever. But you're just not going to get that by sitting home at your property. I think it's important.
Yeah, and one thing I want to just point out what you were saying. And sometimes I hear owners say, well, I've been doing this for 20 years. There's nothing I can learn at this conference. And I always politely disagree because the world is not the same now as it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Guest experience, expectations have changed. The travel habits have changed. The technology has vastly changed. The trends have changed. It's constantly, the technology trends alone change so rapidly that it really is a valuable thing to brush up on every single year because it just changes so fast. So, yeah, no matter how long you've been in the industry, there's always more to learn. There's always more people to meet.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, you got me sold. I guess I'm going. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
I
I
was
can't
signed
wait
up
to
before.
see you.
You want to talk about beyond the conference here? Anything else?
Oh, yeah, we got a little thing that we're rolling out this year that we are ecstatic about, and it is a result directly of the feedback that we hear from members all the time. We are launching a program that we are calling ALP Academy, and we are officially launching it at ALP Unlocked, but we're, sort of teasing it a little bit beforehand because we are so excited about it. The first one will be held in April, and ALP Academy is going to be a series of learning labs. Each series is going to consist of 3 one-hour labs. First one, again, being held in April. I think the first one, I don't know yet what the first one's. Well, I do know. I'm just not going to say. But topics will include things like AI, guest experience, and a few other things. And they are designed to be deeper hands-on learning. So what people can expect is a very guided program. We're going to have an expert facilitator on each series. So for example, let's say it's the AI one. People are going to have hands-on, let's walk through how to do this together. This isn't just like a, let me show you. This is a, we're doing this together. You're going to have a result. Your fellow participants are going to critique yours, and we'll give you feedback. So it's going to be very hands-on, very tangible results. It's going to really focus on skill building and implementation. So it's not just a show and tell. We're going to have Facebook groups just so people can share their documents. If let's say they create something, a blog post with using ChatGPT, they can post what they came up with. They can post marketing graphics, all sorts of things that they'll be able to get live feedback on. So that's, we're going to be revealing more information as we go. So the first one's going to be in April, and then after that, July will be the second one. It will be included with membership. So this is for aspiring, this is for lodging professionals, this is for our allied partners. Digital members will be able to pay an extra fee, as will non-members, for access. But we're really excited about it because this is really, members just kept saying, we want tangible, we want hands-on, we want workshops. So this is what we built. And it's really a time to come together year-round and support one another. Because we all know that, ALP Unlocked is our big bang, every year. And we wanted to make sure that we were really supporting our members and the community around through something that was of great value. And so ALP Academy was born.
Is there a podcast academy that Matt can attend?
I'm sorry, Matt. We don't have a podcast academy.
Maybe next year. That's hilarious.
All right, Matt, do your thing.
All right, Sarah, before we sign off here, anything else to add or anything we may have missed before I do my outro?
No, I just want to say, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Steve, at the conference, and I hope we get, a great turnout. Registrations are still coming in, so if anybody out there is on the fence about coming, do it. We want to meet you. We want to see you. We want to get to know you and help you. So,
and we'll put info in the podcast notes, but alplodging.org, is that correct? Do I have that right?
That is correct, yes.
So they can go online and find out anything they want to find out about the conference. I think the website's very informative, easy to follow, and kind of figure out specifically for the conference stuff and all of the speakers, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and more info about ALP Academy will be coming soon.
All right. We'll be looking forward to that as well. All right, Matt.
All right, I'll take us out. So this concludes this Frictionless Innkeeper podcast interview with Sarah Gazi, who's the CEO of ALP. And Sarah was kind enough to once again do her annual podcast interview with us. And this year we talked about ALP Unlocked, which is the name of the brand for the new conference, which is taking place from March 2nd to the 5th in Rock and Roll Town, Cleveland, Ohio. And our podcast is brought to you by the Frictionless Guest App, the digital concierge that helps your guests to live like locals. Learn how at frictionlessguest.com. Once again, that's frictionlessguest.com. And Sarah and Steve, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Sarah. We appreciate the time.